Hopefully my sound is working now. I'm just gonna use the sound on my phone. No. Okay. Try leaving and coming back. Okay, y'all. Hopefully you can hear the sound this time. It's working. Okay. I had my husband trying to check for me. Okay. I'm back, y'all. Sorry about the sound the first time, but hopefully it's working. Hopefully it sounds okay. Sorry if it doesn't. I don't think my mic is working. Um, so let me know if like I go out or something again. But what was I saying before I left? So I was saying before I left, I wanted to do this video and I was gonna record it and edit it and all that, but I want to get used to going live more often. So I thought, why not just go ahead and just do this video live, especially because I want to get it up before the new year. I know this is the time of year where we're talking about doing detoxes and cleanses and all this stuff. And you are seeing like all this stuff of people promoting cleanses and detoxes this time of year. Also, y'all, please excuse this like wet spot on my shirt. I literally just washed my face to come jump on here. But there's so much about detoxes and cleanses. Like, this is that time of year, really kind of going into next month, the new year. Lots of stuff about cleanses, lots of stuff about detoxes. And so I wanted to really come on here and talk about how to do these things more safely. If you have been in my community for a while, like if you're watching and maybe you came from Instagram or maybe you're on my email list, you've probably noticed that I have shied away about talking about detoxes and cleanses. And that's because a lot of what is out there being marketed is not, it's really not good for you and it will actually make you sicker. So I want to create a space where I am really like educating and helping people make safer choices and safer decisions. And so that's what I want to talk about today is when you are doing these detox protocols or cleanses or whatever you want to call them, I want to talk about how to do that as safely and as effectively as possible. Now, what this video is not going to be me talking about um it's not going to be me talking about like how to do a detox and all that, because that's something individual that you have to start, that you have to try, and that you have to do or research on your own and come up with on your own. So not going to be telling you about how to do any specific detoxes or anything like that. This is to help you figure out what is going to be for you and do that more safely. So, one thing right now, I am actually preparing to do a detox in the new year. I usually don't do these in the new year. I usually do them in the spring or right before the spring because it's before my birthday. Spring is really the time for new beginnings. A lot of people actually talk about um spring being the real new year, and that's really when you are supposed to do cleanses. I just like to do it because it is like a season of new beginnings, and it is my birthday month. So, yes. Now, what I'm saying is going to refer to both detoxes and fasting too. These things can apply to fasting as well. But keep in mind that a detox and a fast are two different things, and they tend to have two different functions. So, when you are fasting, you are giving some of your body's organs a break. You are trying to promote autophagy or cell turnover. You're trying to get your cells to renew themselves. Um, you are trying to improve insulin resistance, and that's if you're fasting for wellness. If you're fasting for a from a spiritual perspective, or if you are doing a spiritual fast, that's a whole nother thing. And it of course has a spiritual component to it, right? And it's going to be different depending on what you believe, but we right now we're mostly just talking about wellness. So I just wanted to, and I got some notes down here because I wanted to make sure I covered everything that I was going to script in my other video. Let me look, make sure I don't have questions. Be sure to give this a like. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'm going to try to keep up with the questions here. Like I said, this is my first time going live, so give me some grace. Um, so, the first thing that yes, Tiffany, I will save this live. So, the first thing that I want to be clear, and I kind of touched on this earlier, is that when you are doing these detox, if somebody is telling you that you can detox in 2 days, that's a scam, right? If someone is telling you like you can do a cleanse in 2 days, that's a scam. And so I want us to be mindful about doing like these random juice cleanses and random just I don't know, weird cuz I've seen a lot of stuff on the internet that I'm just like they going to kill somebody, with what they're promoting. So doing these random things is most likely not going to really benefit you in the way that you think. So what I always recommend is that if you are new to doing detoxes or doing any type of cleansing protocols, that you actually work with a professional when you do that. And usually you can work with a nutritionist, you can work with a functional doctor, but get some kind of support when you are doing like these cleanses and all that, because there are things that are going to come up for you, not even just physically, but even mentally and emotionally. And if you are not used to that, if you haven't experienced any of that, you want to have someone that can help hold your hand and walk you through that. And I will tell you this, if you are new to doing a detox or doing a cleanse, you definitely need support, because there are some things that are going to happen to you, like I said, physically, mentally, and emotionally, that will require you to have somebody to hold your hand and to talk you through it. And also, some of these things can cause our bodies to react in certain ways. And so you want to have someone that can say, hey, you need to stop this immediately, or let's pull back on some of the things that you're doing. You're going to need that. Making sure I don't have any questions. Okay. Um, So, the next thing that I want you guys to focus on if you are doing any types of cleanses or detox protocols is preparation. A lot of, if you are doing a protocol with someone and they don't mention to you that you need to prepare ahead of time, I would say you probably need anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks to prepare before you do any type of detox and cleanse. And that's because you need to start, like, you don't want to take your body from 0 to 100, right? You don't want to take your body from 0 to 100. So you need at least a week to start preparing your body for what's about to happen to it. So this is going to look like opening your detox pathways. And I actually have a full blog post on this, and I'll link that when I post this video. But you'll want to open those pathways. So that's doing things like going to the sauna, dry brushing, magnesium baths. You actually want to start taking processed things and cutting back on sugar, cutting back on caffeine. You want to start doing that ahead of time. You don't want to just immediately go into a cleanse or detox, especially if you are not used to doing them, because the detox symptoms and the die off symptoms can be really severe and really make you sick. And so I've learned that the more preparation you do ahead of time in that week or two before you do a cleanse or detox, the less brutal it will be for you, especially if you are someone who's not used to doing that, or if you don't eat really well, you don't want to experience those extreme die off symptoms, because they can make you really sick and pretty much make it almost impossible for you to complete, a detox or a cleansing protocol. Another thing you want to do is to support your adrenals. I know there's all these like adrenal mocktails out there, and it's nothing wrong with those. Most of them actually do work, or, can help you. I would say just making sure you're getting B vitamins, vitamin C, your electrolytes, making sure you're keeping your electrolytes up. These are all things you want to do before and during any kind of like cleanse or detox protocol. Another thing to focus on too is getting enough sleep. Again, you really just want to be kind of on good behavior at least a week before you're doing something like this. Another thing that I like to do is, like I said, I like to take magnesium baths. Like today, it's a Saturday, so I went to the gym, went to the sauna, got in a massage chair. I'm gonna do my legs up the wall later today. I'll probably take a magnesium bath tonight. I took one last night. I've been drinking electrolytes, all that stuff, just to make sure that that once my body is starting to release things, that it can do that properly without me, getting just so sick. And also, the other thing is, you don't want to release toxins, because your body is kind of designed to essentially hold on to toxins in certain places or in certain ways. And so you don't want to release that stuff back into your system and it not be able to get out. Okay, y'all, let me make sure I didn't miss any questions. Tiffany, so how long is a detox? A detox is going to be, it's really going to be up to you. It's going to be up depending on what's going on with you. I really can't give you like a specific um time frame, because it kind of depends on the person and what is going on with them. But I will say this: If you have never done a detox or a cleanse before, you're either going to want to do you're either going to want to work your way up, or you're going to want to do start out kind of gently and do a longer detox. If I don't know if that really makes sense, but it's really going to depend on the person. So another thing that I have been doing is preparing everybody around me for this period of time, because for me it's not even just going to be like a wellness thing. For me it's also like I just it's going to be a time to spiritually refocus. It's going to be a time for me to not just cleanse like my body, but also my social media and the content that I'm consuming, all that. And also, I'm probably going to take some time from my friends. And so I've let them know ahead of time that, like, hey, in January, maybe even into February, I'm probably not going to be as available as I normally am. And now, if you are doing a spiritual fast and you are Christian, there's some guidance around this. So, but what I'm doing is a detox. And so I'm letting people know ahead of time that, like, hey, I'm going to need some space, or just not even space. It's just that I'm not going to be as available during that month because I'm taking that time to myself to really work on healing myself and really work on taking care of my body and my mind and my soul during that time. So that's something that you really need to do, is prepare other people again, especially if it is your first time. Definitely prepare people around you, prepare your spouse, let people know, like, hey, I might be more lethargic, I might not want to hang out, I'm probably not going to want to hang out, because I can't eat and drink the same things as everybody else during this time. So it's going to be hard for you to navigate socially if you are not used to abstaining from certain things. Let's see what else I got. Also, if it's possible for you, prepare your schedule. Don't underestimate how tired you might be or how ill you might feel, because you can really feel ill when you're doing a detox or a cleanse. You might have that period of time where you're not feeling well. So if it's possible for you during the duration that you're planning to do a detox or cleanse, just make sure that you can, I know this is hard if you work full time for someone else, but try to plan appropriately. Maybe you want to make sure a certain part of your detox or cleanse is during a like maybe on a weekend, or maybe a long weekend, or maybe you can take some PTO, something like that. But that's something to think about before embarking on something like this. Let's see, what else do I have? Also, consider, even if you're not detoxing or fasting for spiritual purposes, I think it's always a good idea to still do some deep work during this time. So maybe if you're not a journaler already, maybe you start journaling. I'm kind of like a intermittent journaler. Like sometimes I'll do it for a month straight consistently, and then I might go like 2 months without journaling. So I have been collecting just like journal prompts that I come across, or even if I think of something that I feel like I need to work through and journal on, I have like a little note in my phone with different journal prompts. And I find that whenever you're doing any type of detox or cleanse, that is a good time to work through some things. Again, if you are new to this, I would suggest having a therapist on standby, having someone that can counsel you because some things might come up for you. I think that is the end of my notes. Let me make sure I hit everything. Yeah, I think that is the end of my notes. So, yeah, like I said, I'm not going to get into a full on detox while I'm here. If you are on this platform, if you like, if that's something that you're interested in doing, I will have I gotta set up a new booking link, but I will put my link when I post this video or even my email. Hey Kenya, yeah, I am saving this. But if you want to, talk more about detoxing and what might be best for you, you need some guidance on that, you can set up a call with me and I will do that. Also, I will put my meal plan, I'll link that when I share this video. And what else? And I will link my fibroid management guide too. If even if you don't have fibroids, if you are someone who is dealing with lots of issues with your hormones, or I would even see because I would even say if you are just having a lot of weird health issues, or maybe they don't seem big to you, maybe you're like bloated all the time, maybe you're fatigued all the time, anything like that, I still recommend getting my guide because it's really for every woman. I just made it a fibroid management guide because that's initially how I started. For those of you who don't know, I have fibroids, and I had a 10 centimeter fibroid, and I was able to get it down to it's about 5 centimeters now. So I like to, and I actually had a lot of them, and a lot of them were bigger, and so some of them have shrank, but the largest one, that's the most significant one, has is like half its size now. And so that's kind of how I got started in this, was that I had this fibroid, was trying to get rid of it, and I didn't want to have surgery, and so that's kind of how I got into this holistic lifestyle because it's definitely a lifestyle. Yes, I'm happy to hear that, Kenya. Yeah, I feel like April is a good time. You probably missed at the beginning. I was saying that I usually don't do detoxes. Like I will abstain from things at the beginning of the year, but I typically do or prefer to do a detox in like March, closer to my birthday or before my birthday, because I feel like spring is really the time to detox. And maybe it's just me. I know a lot of people say that, but I do feel like there's a difference. But I know a lot of people are starting them in January or doing them in January. So, again, before you detox, make sure you do the things that I mentioned here. And before I go, I'll just run through those really quickly. Um, First of all, get with a professional, especially if you've never done a detox before. Get with someone who has a proven track record of helping people, who, has some testimonials about how they have helped people, why can go into detail with you about why their protocol works. And if you guys need somebody, the nutritionist that I worked with a couple years ago, I don't think that she is doing this work anymore, but if she is, I'll actually link her in the comments. And I feel like like what I learned from her was so thorough. But anyway, let me stay on task. So get a professional involved. Prepare ahead of time by opening your detox pathways, supporting your adrenals with vitamin C, your B vitamins, getting enough sleep, making sure you're getting enough electrolytes and staying hydrated. The other thing you're going to want to do is prepare your schedule as much as you can. Try to keep your schedule light when you are doing a detox. Prepare other people. Make sure your friends and family, communicate with them that, like, hey, I'm not going to be as available. You don't even have to tell them that you are detoxing or doing a cleanse or anything like that. You just tell them, like, hey, I'm working on some things right now. I'm working on my health right now. And I'm going to need some time. I'm just not going to be as available during this time. And then the last thing is consider adding a spiritual or mental practice or emotional practice to your detox, whether that be journaling. Um, I'm actually taking up a new hobby during my practice. I can't remember if I told y'all in another video, but I'm not gonna say what it is yet, but just something that is going to help you, because when you're cleansing physically, it can be um it can bring up some things for you mentally and emotionally as well. So thank you guys so much for joining. I will post this and I'm gonna try to remember all the stuff that I said that I was gonna post along with this. So just be on the lookout because it'll probably take me a minute to like gather everything so that I can put all the links with this video. But I will catch you guys in the next video. And if you join this live and you like me doing lives, let me know because I'm really thinking about doing more in the new year. But I will see you guys in the next video.